This is Bro Want Me. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be doing another review slash breakdown, and today, Zom 100 Bucket List of the Dead, Episode 2. So, with these review slash breakdowns, it's just the parts that I want to review and break down and stuff like that. So, if there's parts that I leave out in the episode, it's because I left it on because I didn't feel like talking about it, or I just didn't feel like it was as important as other scenes. Just wanted to clear that up and get that out of the way. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Episode 2, Bucket List of the Dead. So there's a little bit of a nightmare scene whenever it first starts, but I really don't want to talk about that because it's really not that big of a deal. So after that little incident happens at the beginning, Akira decides that he just wants to sit around and drink all day. Because, he has nothing to do, he has no plans, he doesn't have to go to work. He's like, fuck it, let's drink all day. So he sits around, and he's drinking for a little bit. Drinks probably like 3-4 beers, something like that. Goes to the fridge to get another beer, and my boy's completely out. He ain't got shit, they ain't nothing there to drink. He ain't got a Miller, he ain't got a Coors. Shit, my boy ain't even got a Keystone. So he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go on a beer run even though there's a zombie apocalypse. Different type of energy right there. Different type of breed. Salute to them. You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of cuckoo. But he's leaving the building, and he does some pretty parkour type shit to leave the building. Like, he's coming down this like gutter line to the building or whatever. And while he's coming down and looking at all the zombies and all that shit, he comes down like on the pipe or whatever, and there's two people standing on the balcony. Ain't been bit. They just chilling, acting like nothing ever happened. They's freaking the fuck out, confused, acting like they couldn't go nowhere, and then they see him and like they're just like shocked. Honestly, I would be too. But they ask him for a few things, and if he could bring it back to him whenever he comes back, and he's like, yeah, sure, ain't no big deal. So he gets going, and he's on the way to going to the gas station, and he gets about he got like right in front of the gas station, and he just starts singing a beer song. I don't know why this man was singing a beer song, but he was just straight singing a beer song. And dude walks in the door singing the song and all that, and he gets back all the way, like walking down the aisle and everything, gets to the end where all the beer is and all the other drinks. Still singing the beer song, just to iterate that. And to his, unforeseen circumstances, he didn't see this girl, didn't think that she was going to be in there, even though there was a bike outside with a camera on it. So he should have thought a little bit that it was possible that somebody was there, but he didn't. So he, obviously she heard all the beer song and all that, and he tries to talk to her, and she really wasn't trying to have none of it. And they have a little talk for a second, and she just pretty much tells him that, hey, I ain't trying to hang out with somebody that's dumb enough just to come out here for beer. Like, they're coming out here for beer and just not getting no essential needs. Like, you're just getting beer, no water, no nothing. So she was pretty much saying, I don't want to be with the dumbass. So she goes to walk out the door, and she starts looking at her phone. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna try to put a little video clip or something like that, showing what happens right here. But there's like zombies that start breaking in the door or whatever, and Akira just like steps in front of old girl because it hasn't said her name yet or whatever. So he steps in front of old girl, acting like he's gonna protect her, but she's seen something on her phone with the camera that he hadn't seen. So whenever he jumps in front of her, like trying to protect her from the zombies, she snatches him and like for real, just damn near slams him on his ass. But like whenever she did it, like the force of her throwing him back made her land on top of him, so it kind of looked kind of provocative. I'm not gonna lie. But she got up straight after saving him, and she just for real dipped. Like, just dipped after that car smashed through the door. Just didn't give a fuck. Was like, I ain't trying to be around this dumbass. But the only thing that Akira could think of was, damn, this pretty girl just saved me and just ran off. He's like, what the hell's just going on? Like, I ain't seen nobody for real. And then I see this pretty girl, and then she just doesn't want to say anything, slams me on the ground, saves my life, and just dips. Cool, whatever. So he decides, he's got to go outside, go out there, and he's got to leave too, right? Well, he finds that his bike was just all smashed and mangled because of the motherfucking truck that just smashed into the building. So he goes, searching pretty quickly, and he finds a moped. And he decides to get on it. So he gets on the moped, and while he's driving, he's like, man, if I could take this moped, why couldn't I take something that's a little bit better than a moped? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I driving slow whenever I could be going fast? You know what I'm saying? I want to go fast, Ricky Bobby. But he stops, he sees a motorcycle, he hops on that bitch and just straight dips. Does some silly shit on it, but he dips. But he gets home. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. He doesn't just straight get home. He drives home. He goes back up the pole like he was going to do and everything. And as he's going up, he remembers the two people. And he stops at their little balcony or whatever, and he comes to find out that their room's been broken into, and they definitely did not survive. They didn't have not a good time at all. Like, it was straight terrible for them. It was fucked up. It was showing a little bit of the grit to the show, and I liked that. I liked it. But he gets home and he starts writing his bucket list down. Key point to why it's called Bucket List of the Dead Episode 2, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of makes sense why it's called, it's a little ironic. But he just sits down, he writes a decent amount, and it's just stuff that he wants to do before he dies. So that's how that is. And then it cuts from Akira to this girl. And it's just showing her from the morning. And at the beginning, whenever you first watch this episode, you don't clearly know this, but it's actually talking from her point of view from what happened from the start of the morning up until she met him at the gas station. Which I didn't personally notice at the beginning, but yeah. But it shows that she's going through, checking a bunch of data, showing she's a very sophisticated individual, very smart, not dumb at all, still trying to get in communication to top tier places, trying to communicate with other countries, shit like that. She's actually trying to do the right thing and be smart and trying to see if there's any other places that's not having this go on. So she's not just doing what Akira's doing, and it kind of makes more sense why she was upset at him just getting beer. But it gets to the point to where it's her point of view with meeting Akira, and shows her just going and leaving. And it's kind of ironic that this happens, because it shows you everything that she does and everything up until that point of the gas station with him. Then it shows her getting on her bike and going home and leaving. But whenever she gets home, she does pretty much the same exact thing that he did, except her bucket list was 100 things to do to avoid becoming a zombie. And that is how the episode ended. Personally, I really liked this episode, the way they introduced this girl. It wasn't just some type of oh, I'm throwing myself at you. It wasn't she's all over the main character. Nah. She was kind of fuck you, get out my way. You dumb as hell. You stupid as a box of rocks. I ain't trying to deal with nobody that's gonna be dead weight. So my rating for this episode would personally be a 9 out of 10. It started to show a little bit of the grit for the series, because there's definitely gonna be more. So That's just my personal take on it, and I really like the episode. So if you like this type of content, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go check out my boy Burden Entertainment. And hey, we'll holler at y'all in the next video. Peace. Oh yeah, and check out my Texas Chainsaw Massacre live streams, because I'm gonna be doing that a lot at nighttime. Holla at your boy.